Received an important email. Yes. Maybe it was an appointment reminder, an important document, maybe a message from the Nigerian prince who's promising you lots of money. Millions if you just give him your bank account information, right? Right? Spam. It's a real thing here. And usually, if let's say that you didn't receive that important email, what do the people, when you go back to that person who sent it, what do they say? Check your spam folder, right? So that's what this session's all about. I'm so excited that we have so many people here to want to learn about email deliverability and keeping those emails out of your spam, the spam folder filter. My name is Jeanette DeGrazio. I am in our MAP division. That's our marketing automation platform. And I've been with Robin here now 5 years. I've been here 5 years. And I've also been, so if you're not, how many of you are MAP members here? Okay. A lot. Woo, I love it. Love it. It's okay if you're not. You're going to learn something. This is general knowledge. But we will be talking about Keep. That's the CRM, the marketing automation program that we use for our MAP program. So I have been using, counted the years, started as a user. I was a business owner and used Keep when it was called Infusionsoft, formerly known as Infusionsoft. And it's been 15 years now, and I've looked at all the other systems along the way, making sure we're selecting the best program, and I still keep number one in my book. I'm also the chief architect of our MAP campaigns, and right now I am overseeing all of our MAP onboarding, and so this is something that is incredibly important when you're starting to use a new system. We've got some tips we're going to give you today to help make sure that the emails can stay out of the spam folder. And I've got with me here Jason.
Yep.
Give it up for Jason.
Thanks for the shout out, appreciate it. I paid him to do that.
Yeah.
My name is Jason Gardner. I am an onboarding specialist. I'm also the lead trainer with Keep. I have helped, like it says, over 300 MSPs configure and launch campaigns with Keep. I just made that number up. It's probably a lot more than that. And I've helped people set over 550 appointments with Keep. So I've got a little bit of experience. I've been with the company for 2 years. Before that, I was working with Salesforce, and before that, I was actually a teacher in Arizona teaching history and Spanish. So don't ask me how I got here. I don't know. Robin likes other redheads, I guess. That's I like to say that I'm the number 2 redhead in charge around here. So.
Awesome. And for those of you who know me, I'm also a former elementary school teacher. So you see the stars on the board. When you come to, who's been to MAP training day and gotten stars? Yep, we give out stars to those who are booking appointments while they're there at MAP training day. 21% of emails don't reach the inbox. I'm going to have to give you some hard truths here before we give you the tips. Truth number 1 is that email delivery is not a guaranteed service. Kind of like the U.S. Post Office, right? Just because you send an email doesn't mean that the person is going to receive it. The other truth is that email deliverability falls on you, not your email service provider. So if you are using Keep, MailChimp, Constant Contact, HubSpot, doesn't matter. The rules, what we're going to show you today, applies for all of these platforms, but it does fall on you. Email deliverability is getting that email into the inbox, keeping it out of the spam folder. The good news is that you can build a positive reputation for sending your emails. Google even says building a positive reputation as an email sender is one of the most important things you can do to improve your deliverability. So we're going to be sharing today 7 red flags that are the spam police are looking for when sending emails. So I'm going to have Jason talk about some of them. And so we're going to also, we've got the red flags, but we're also going to share some golden rules. So you might want to get your pencil and paper ready to write these down as we go through.
Okay, let's jump in. So first of all, things to watch out for. Lack of proper authentication. So for those of you taking notes, a few things that you definitely want to have set up whenever you start an email marketing system. You want to have your DKIM or DKIM, as I call it, your SPF and your DMARC set up. So these are things that DKIM is something that you're setting up inside of your email system. So whether it be Keep or whatever it is. But then SPF and DMARC is something that you're setting up with your host. More or less what these are, think of it almost as your license and registration and insurance, right? So if you get pulled over by the police, the first thing they're going to ask you is for your license and registration. If you don't have these things set up, then it's definitely going to be a ding on your record, right? If you have your license and registration and get pulled over, then it may just be a small ticket or something small. So if you don't have DKIM set up, what it does, DKIM basically gives permission for Keep or whatever system you're using to send emails on behalf of your domain. SPF and DMARC both help with spoofing, so they basically set up parameters, and then if anything is outside those parameters, if somebody is trying to spoof your domain, then it basically blocks those things from getting through. So these 3 things you want to have set up for sure. Otherwise, Jeanette's going to come after you. She's staring daggers through the back of my head right now. What makes it better is the horrible cropping that I did on that. Yeah, you can't even tell the difference. And then the golden rule is you only want to send from authenticated emails and domains. So as far as sending emails to invalid recipients, typically this happens when, let's say you have someone in your CRM system and you're sending emails and they stop working there, well, they're going to close down that email and then you're going to start getting bounces, right? So if you continue to send to those invalid emails, or if the email never existed, or if you spell it incorrectly when you enter it into the system, you're going to start getting bounces. If you start racking up a lot of bounces, the networks are going to start looking at that and saying, well, hold on, what's going on here? And basically your reputation with them is going to diminish. So you want to make sure that if you're sending out emails, that you're sending to valid email addresses, that you don't continue to have bounces. And in our Keep system that we have set up in the MAP program, we have something called the Email Utility Manager that keeps track of all that stuff for you. I've only ever seen a few people actually get in trouble with this. There was one guy who we told him to clean up his list, and he just sent out thousands of emails anyway, and he ended up getting hundreds of invalid emails and bounces. And Keep reached out to him and said, hey, you need to clean this up a little bit. Otherwise, they could potentially stop you from sending out emails altogether. So you want to make sure that your list is clean when you put it into the system. And the golden rule is only send to valid email addresses and keep your list clean. Tip number 3 is to avoid erratic sending patterns and frequency. So you want to think like a spammer. So think about if a spammer is going to start sending out emails and trying to get people to click on stuff, what are they going to do? They're going to get some kind of system, they're going to get thousands of emails, they're going to throw them all into the system, and they're just going to start sending stuff, right? Thousands of emails at a time, they're not going to worry about if it's clean. So we want to think like a spammer, but do the opposite, obviously. So here are some things that Robin often preaches about. So we don't want to do random acts of marketing. So let's say, for example, Black Friday is coming up. You haven't sent any emails in your system for 6 months, and it's Black Friday, and you're like, oh, hey, I got this really great idea for this campaign. Let's send out 1,000 emails. Well, again, think about it from the perspective of the networks. You haven't sent out anything, and then all of a sudden you're sending out 2,000 emails. they're going to look at that and they're going to say, hey, something's fishy going on here. Are these people spamming, right? So you want to be careful about that. You want to establish some kind of a regular cadence. You want to promote some kind of a weekly email series. And for those of you that have MAP, you guys know about our weekly cybersecurity tips. So again, you're setting a regular cadence so that the network is used to you and they're like, okay, these guys are good. They're not going to be spamming people. You also want to establish a monthly email blog and then an email broadcast that you can send out to different segments of your list a month. So I have just a quick example. So you have your weekly cybersecurity tips, an email blog. So this is something that you'd want to sit down with your marketing manager and you would want to figure out what your cadence is going to be and when you're going to send those stuff out. Not just some random act of marketing, hey, I have an idea, let's do this. That's fine, but you definitely want to have your regular cadence set up.
And I know that during if you're switching to a new email service provider, that can be a time when you're seeing a lot of emails going to the spam folder. What are some things that you recommend or we do during onboarding to help build that reputation?
So a few things. So we have things called double opt-ins. Most any service that you're going to use is going to have some kind of a double opt-in. So when you start sending out those emails, like with our MAP system, we have an email that goes out that says, hey, is this the best email to contact you with? And if they click that, it's going to build your reputation as a marketer. The people that you're sending emails to, it doesn't help them out much. If they just click it, it really just builds your reputation. But then also a lot of the campaigns that we have built in our MAP system establish this cadence for you.
And start with a smaller list. Start with a very clean list. We work really hard with our new members to make sure that you're not just taking the 5,000 contacts you had over in another system and just bringing them into Keep. Clean those contacts and import them and you can start by sending out emails to 50 contacts. Get that cadence going and then you can add another 100 and then over time it'll help build your reputation.
Yep. And the golden rule here is to be consistent with the frequency and the volume of your sending.
Okay. Another red flag is sending emails to non-engaged recipients. So Jason talked about invalid recipients, but now we're going to talk about sending emails to contacts who are not engaging with those emails. It used to be in marketing gurus would say, hey, just build that list as big as you can and just keep emailing them until they either opt out. It's not the case anymore. That's going to hurt your reputation. So let's give you some tips here. Only send emails to people who want to get messages from you. This is permission-based emailing. With a farm list, we actually don't encourage importing email addresses for them because it could be a list that you purchased and you're going to be sending Aspen letters, doing some direct mail. If they haven't given you permission to email them, don't email them. You can get marked as spam too. And then the email police will be spam police will be after you. Also setting clear expectations about your emails that you're going to be sending, what that frequency is, and stick to it. Okay? Don't say, oh, I'm going to send you 1 email a week and then send 10 emails a week. And also have the contacts click to confirm their email address after opting in. I'm sure you've you've requested something, maybe a free report, and then you get an email back saying, thank you for requesting this information. Please click here to confirm your email address, right? We've all seen those before. That does build your reputation with Keep. Contacts who have clicked to confirm their email address, those emails are sent from the better servers, and compared to those who don't.
Yeah, and I just want to add real quick, having a double opt-in and having people click on that is the quickest way to build your reputation as a marketer. So we're going to go through a bunch of other tips about messaging and what your email should look like, but the double opt-in is the quickest way.
And you don't have to require this to deliver what they've requested either. So in the MAP system, we don't require that they click to confirm and then deliver the free report. Go ahead and deliver that free report anyways. Okay, we don't want to not give them the information in case they don't click to do the double opt-in. You'll also want to track engagement in whatever system you're using and stop emailing non-engaged contacts. So in Keep, we're able to track those within a specific period of time that aren't engaging. And we've got widgets built on the dashboard that you can check and be watching these contacts. And at a certain point, we actually Keep will stop sending emails to those contacts. And this goes right in with what Robin always said. I love that. This is, I think, my favorite quote from Robin, is your list and the relationship you have with it is the single biggest asset in your business. So you need to treat it accordingly. So keeping it clean, keep adding contacts to the system over time, because at some point, some contacts are going to fall off. They're not going to be engaged with your email marketing at some point. So what is engagement? What does that mean? Oh, and for MAP members, is the picture of the dog. You know, whenever I do my presentations, I gotta have a picture of a dog. It's pretty cute. Engagement in Keep is a contact who opens an email sent. That was a broadcast that was sent out of that system. Maybe they clicked a link in the email. Could be that they submitted a web form that is connected with that program. Or that they booked an appointment with an online calendar system, such as Appointment Core. That's the online scheduling system that we use along with Keep in MAP. So this is what engagement is. Yahoo says sending emails to users who are not reading them or who report them as spam will harm your delivery metrics and reputation. So again, we don't want to just keep sending emails if they're not engaging. How do you know? How can we automate this? This is a blueprint. I know it's hard to see, but it's more for me to remember what I wanted to tell you. But this is our email utility manager in MAP. So we've built a system where when the contact enters into the system, either by submitting a web form, booking that appointment, requesting information from you, then we send them a series of the emails where they can click to do the double opt-in. We send a couple of them. If they don't click the first day, we send them another one the second day. Now, if they don't click the link, that's okay. They can still receive emails from you, but again, they're not sent from the better servers. So we look at, did they click that link? If no, they stay as an unconfirmed status. But if they do click, well, now the emails, again, are sent from those better servers. And then the system is watching. So have they engaged with your emails? Again, did they open them, click a link, submit a web form from your system? If yes, great. Then you'll just continue that cadence of sending them emails. After 90 days, so that's right here, 90 days, the contact will become what we call unengaged marketable. So that means they've not engaged, but we can still send emails to them. At this point, we send them a we do an attempt to try to get them to re-engage. So we send some emails, just, hey, you still want to get emails from us type of thing. And if they do click, well, then they go back and they're on the regular cadence. But after 1 year, over here, if they haven't been engaging, then that's when they become unengaged, non-marketable, and we stop sending emails to those contacts. So whatever system you're using, you'll want to check in and see that you're able to set some of these settings to improve your deliverability. So the golden rule here, if you're writing them down, is only send emails to engaged contacts. Moving on to our next red flag, email formatting issues. Again, this is something you can control, right? This is something that you have power to do. Now, I took these from Keep's template library. Pretty, aren't they? Lots of pictures and graphics, things like that. Don't use them. No. The images, the graphics in them are red flags. Here we have a nice email signature for David Johnson. We can see his website here. We've got a link there. And then he's got all of the social media, right? So we're linking here to Facebook, linking to YouTube. These are red flags. So you don't want to have all of this in your email signature.
And I think Yahoo especially, if you have a YouTube link, they almost always block that.
Yep, so no, don't want to do that. Here's another example of an email that has a lot of different links in it. So we can see here at the top, this is a link to their own website. They've put a list here to link to all these different websites. And then down here, here's a link to one of our tools. Here's a link to our partner website. So having a variety of different types of links is a red flag. So no, don't want to do that.
Is this on bulk emails? But if you're sending an individual email, are you also starting to create a problem for yourself?
So the question is this just for bulk emails, or could this impact a one-off, just an email that you're sending? Most of what we're saying is for the bulk emails, but I suppose that it could happen as well, that an email that you're sending, if you're breaking all the rules, that it might not get to that person. Yeah. So this is an example from Robin of what the most successful email formatting looks like. So they are short, written like a one-to-one communication. So it sounds like, or it looks like, it's coming from a person going to a person. And it includes a link that drives your recipient to the web page where the content is. So the example here is to go to the blog post. We've got the link, the URL here. It's also here, but it's the same link. So we haven't put 7 different links to 7 different pages on the website. It's just the one. So the golden rule here is to send plain text emails that are personalized. That'll help get more emails out of that spam folder. Okay, we've got our AI, our spam police here, looking, searching, and looking through the content of your emails, looking for spammy words or phrases. You can Google this and you can see a long list of different words and phrases that the Nigerian prince might use in his email. But something that we've discovered is we don't want to use the words "click here" in your emails. So when we developed MAP 2.0, I don't know how, maybe 2 years ago? Gosh, not good with timelines. But we reworded those call to actions. Instead of saying, click here to get your free report, you can say something like, you can access your free report here. Okay, so the words click here are red flags. Don't use too much punctuation. Writing in all caps can get marked as spam. And excessive symbols are warning indicators to filters as well. So be careful with those. So our golden rule here is to keep your spammy words and phrases out of your emails. I do have a funny story. So Keep has the ability, has a little spam checker. And so when we get together for MAP training day, the following day during a lunch session, we have our members send a cross-sell email broadcast. Well, in some of Robin's emails, we have placeholders. And so like for phone numbers, it said XXX, XXX, XXX. The email got flagged as porn. And my member was like, what is going on? I said, well, you've got to actually put your phone number in there so that doesn't happen. And our last red flag is sending irrelevant messaging. With email marketing, one size does not fit all. Not everyone on your list wants to hear everything you have to say, right? So we've got to segment, be careful about who we're sending the messages to. So here's an example of a cross-sell email broadcast. This is being sent to clients, existing clients who don't have VoIP services with you. What would it be like if you sent this email to one of your clients that does have your VoIP services? You're going to probably get some phone calls, right? Going to confuse them. So you want to have the ability to track using different fields. So here are some examples of custom fields that we build. And our MAP members are diligent about keeping these updated so we can pull those lists and segment, send the right message to the right person. Also, Will Nobles talked about focusing on VoIP services for a month. So we had the offer was for a free trial. So he was able to segment his database, and number one, he sent an email broadcast to clients who don't have VoIP services, offering that free month of service. Then he also sent an email broadcast to clients who have the VoIP services and said, if you refer anyone, we'll give that the new client the free month of service, and also you. And then he was also able to segment and pull his prospects, and he held a webinar for selling. And I don't know, is Danny still here in the back? Okay. Anyway, Will did really, really well that month.
Can I add a story here? I was actually talking to a guy this morning who used list segmentation like this. Can you show the next one? Mm-hmm. Something like this where he had marked people as having their backup system or not having. Anyway, so he sent out, he was really hesitant to send out these email broadcasts. And then he finally just decided one day, I'm going to do it. So he sent them out, and in 1 month he added 15,000 in MR. And he said it like it was nothing. He's like, oh yeah, I added like 15 in MR. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Congrats.
So sending relevant content to the right people is going to lead to better engagement with your emails, people opening them, clicking on your links, or filling out a web form. That's going to lead to better inbox placement, which will help increase your open rates and lead to more opportunities. I wish I had my cha-ching button here. So the golden rule is to send targeted and relevant messaging. So here's the slide with all the golden rules. I know you've been writing them down. If you missed any of them, they're here. And one more picture of a dog at his row. He's pretty cute.
And upon request, Jeanette will show you pictures of her dog after this.
Yes, Rocket, yes. So, anyway, well, thank you all.
Question.
Yes.
On number 3, so we're doing the regularly scheduled the tips and the prospect hopper and all that, but once in a while there's a big hack that makes the news, and we like to send out a broadcast with, you know, hey, Children's Hospital, blah, 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 patient records, maybe this many, da, 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 and, you know, the whole rest of the spiel.
Yes.
Is that one that we're not supposed to be doing?
So
Sorry,
we'll repeat the question.
Go ahead, Jason. We'll,
For the virtual people that missed the question, so the question was, we're sending out regular tech tips, right?
Yes.
And then you have a regular cadence for
and all of that, but
prospect
there's a
hopper.
huge hack in the news. Everybody's
So if something
seeing
big
it.
happens-
It's always a hospital or something, and so we want to
And
obviously,
that's-
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah, so the question is, so if anything big happens in the news, is it okay to send out a big email blast about whatever event just happened? And the answer is yes, if you have that regular cadence set up for everything else.
Okay.
One big email is not gonna look irregular to the networks.
Yeah.
If you have nothing going on though, and then you just blast out a couple thousand emails, yeah, that'll look irregular.
and you can also control how you're sending it, maybe send to your clients first, then your prospect, or those who are engaged, and then those who have become unengaged.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I think our time is up. So Jason and I will stick around.
We'll hover.
We'll go, and you can stop by Team Robin's booth as well if you have any questions. Welcome to boot camp. Have a great time, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.